This is the City of London, and that is the Bank of England, and that building there is the Royal Exchange, where Scrooge worked. And it is, if you can see that over there, Christmas. So we're going treasure hunting on the Thames. It's going to be low tide in about an hour, and we're going to have a little adventure. So this is called Junction, and that's the Bank of England with its billions of gold in the basement. And this is the Wall Street of Britain. So this was the stock market in the 1300s, apparently, the original one. But this is called the Mansion House. So the city was a walled city built in Roman times by, funnily enough, the Romans, and London was the lowest bridging point, so that this was the lowest you could get across the River Thames upstream. The actual city itself is a square mile, so the walls are a mile by a mile. And when the Anglo-Saxons came back after everything fell into the Dark Ages, they wouldn't live inside the city because the walls were so high, as far as they was concerned, that it could only be the home of giants who might one day return. And this is the sort of thing you will find here if you have a lucky day. And when they build a building like this here, they end up with lots of artifacts in the mud below. This is the Roman Foreshore, and we're going over there to the south side later on. But first, we're going to have a quick look down on the Roman Foreshore. So it's a long time since I've been down here, 20 years, and I never used to come to the Roman Foreshore because it was always dug over and picked out. But who knows? Let's go and have a look. You never know what you might find. This is the sort of terrain that you're working with. It's very rocky, bits and bobby. You can't dig here. They used to, but they're not allowed to anymore. You see up there, there's some oyster shells. Now, no one's been throwing oyster shells in here for a few hundred years, but you've got to really just scan this and try and see if you can spot anything. That's the name of the game here. So what you're looking for is erosion. And there's actually not much up here really, but you just got to kind of look around, pull things out the way, hope there's something underneath. That looks like a likely rock, move it out the way, see if there's anything under it. And of course, most of the time, you won't find anything. The further away from up here, the more likely it is to be good. And the less time it gets uncovered, and therefore the less hunted it gets. So this is interesting. This is a collection of steel bits and pieces. So there's a lot of iron collecting in this little spot. You see rivets and bolts and springs and what have you. So this is something I'm going to scrape here. Well, did a bit of scraping, nothing here. So we move on. Well, this is actually probably a something. I have no idea what something it is, but you can see the end is decorative, or looks decorative. And it's lead, so it shouldn't really be up this high, but it is, so we like that. So we're going to check around here, see if we can find any more stuff like this. I have found an emerald on the other side of the river, so I do take notice of this. That's probably glass. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's glass, but it's tempting to imagine, isn't it? That does rather look like what an uncut emerald looks like. But we'll find out later. Don't hold your breath. So here's a quick treasure hunting lesson for mudlarking. This white is chalk, and they put this down so they can put boats on it. So this is pretty old stuff, and because it's hard pack, if anything washes down from here, it will tend to get, well, get stuck effectively, like gold in the riffles of a pan or a sluice. So this is where you look if you're looking for coins or anything metal or heavy on this kind of white chalk surface. This is a view up to Westminster, past Southwark Bridge, and this is a view down the river to the Tower of London. And this is the Shard, which is the new supersonic high building in London, which is on the south side of the river, which is where we're going now. Is Southwark Bridge, which we're going to go over and down the stairs onto the south side. I bet you're getting lots of wind noise, aren't you? Oh well, sorry about that. You can see other mudlarkers Mudlarking. That shows you how long I've been. This never used to have a gate on it, and now the gate is bolted, so you can't get down here. Although there's nothing to disallow you from getting down here. It's not illegal or anything. It's just, I guess, they don't want no trouble. There used to be right up there a ladder, and I generally used to go down the ladder, and these days I'd fall off. Good, we can get down here. Excellent, and here we go. So here's an example of a patch. There you go, there's a horseshoe. Hasn't been many horses around here for the last 100 years. There's certainly not many in the river. It's getting near low tide. It's not much of a low tide, but it's you can see the water's still flooding out there. But probably another 10 minutes, so need to be off probably in 40. There's a little bit of delft there. Under the chalk there, there's a little bit of delft, so that was been put there, and we got there before the chalk went down. So that's probably 18th century. We're going to leave it there. There's a mug here, concreted into the mud, which I could break out, but I'm not going to because I'm not a Chinaman. Some more blueware, and here we are under a pier, looking for treasure. Haha. That looks like a bullet. Might not be, but it certainly looks like one. Or maybe it's a piece of pipe. Actually, I think it could be a pipe end. Anyway, one for the pocket. So you can see this is getting eroded, and they put this down to stop it being eroded, but that's been eroded, and so this should be quite good area. Well, that's the other end of that bridge, the other side, the one I couldn't get down. That would have saved me all that walk, but we're going over it and going further. Now, as soon as the tide starts to come back, I'm coming back, because I don't really know this foreshore too well. It looks a bit skinny to me, and I don't have to swim to Canterbury. So this is under Southwark Bridge. And this is the sort of scene I really, really enjoy. We're going over there, down the edge where the water line is. So this is getting low tidy now. This is definitely getting low tidy. And when you're getting down, standing on the edge, looking for the good stuff, because this is not uncovered that much, along come these blooming boats and give you a wash, which is always annoying. So this is what you do. You walk along, looking for likely places, anything that catches your eye. Well, when I used to do this 20 years ago, I had good eyes. I could actually see stuff. Now, it feels like I need a pair of binoculars. But anyway, such is life's rich pattern. And there's a bit of pottery down there. We're not really looking for pottery, are we, boys and girls? We're looking for coins. And hoping to find at least one. Now, if you're a digger, you'd be digging along these groins. I'm not sure about the rules anymore, whether you're allowed to dig. You used to be able to, I don't think you can anymore. I think they kind of stopped digging when they hand out permits, one of which I have. Now, since I was here last, the whole height of that is eroded. That's amazing, right there. Push on under the bridge and past it, and then I'm coming back. Oh, excellent, there's a ladder. I can stay a little bit longer because I can go out there. Ha. Oh well, a further adventure, no doubt.